Hey guys, Ken Hill here. Welcome back to another episode of Guns, Gear, and Freedom. I'm down here today with my friends at Snake River Arms again, and they actually had quite a few different sight pushing tools that they let me check out. In a recent video that I made, I actually did a video on this sight pushing tool from Accucraft that was sent out to us by Kit Vance, and I kind of wanted to compare it in quality to some of the other ones that are on the market. We're going to kind of go over them and see what they look like and that kind of thing. But let's check these things out. So the first tool we're going to take a look at is the Wheeler Engineering gunsmithing sight pushing tool, and it looks very, very similar, if not identical, to the Accucraft one that we reviewed earlier. And the only difference I could really tell between the Wheeler sight and the Accucraft, I mean, they look like they're very similarly constructed, as you can kind of tell that they have very similar design, but the handles are just a little different there. But they do exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. So these two are very, very comparable to each other, as you can tell. If you guys want to check out how these types of sight pushers work, check out the video for the Accucraft sight pusher, because we installed some sights on the clock. But then there's a couple of other different sight pushers out there, such as the TruGlo that kind of comes with an installation kit, as you can see. But they're pretty simple. I'm going to lay this up here so you can see it a little better. Put it on the mat. Pretty much you would use this on a Glock, where you could put your slide, the bottom of your slide, on this, and you would turn this to set your height, and then you would obviously use a ratchet or a wrench to turn the sight pushing tool to take your sights on and off. Inside the box there is another, it looks like there might have been another block to make like putting the same type of sights that are like slanted instead of straight up and down, you can use in this. And also we have a Trijicon sight removal tool, which you can see the part number for that is right here. And this is also for Glocks, with almost virtually the same type of design as the TruGlo. Now, looking at the two, which I've held them both and I've kind of operated both of these, it does appear that the Trijicon one is a lot smoother to operate. Everything turns a lot easier. It just feels more higher quality, I think. But this one isn't a slouch. It's a little heavier, but it'll do the job. All of these will do the job. But if I had to say what I liked better, I mean, it would depend on me putting some Glocks on these and trying them out, which we're about to do. So, but you guys have already seen these work, so I'm not even gonna show that. But maybe we'll sneak a clip in down here where you can see how that works too. But let's try to see what this does, and you'll see how these operate. So the first sight that we're gonna talk about, the first sight pusher I should say, is the Trijicon sight pusher, and it is designed for Glock slides. As you can tell, I've got a narrow slide. This is a Glock 48 narrow slide, and there is an interchangeable, or a changeable slide block right there that your slide would literally slip right into, just like I just did there. And of course, tighten the bottom nut down to kind of clamp it down. Super easy, but this is a good tight fit. Everything fits good. It's like solid. And then you could simply run the sight right off of the gun slide, just like you see it doing right there. Super easy. It's like definitely made to do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and push it back on there, but just wanted to demonstrate how this one works. Super easy, super nice. Wow, that's way easy to push on. I really like that. And just about got it centered out. And there. Looks centered to me, and that went flawless. But I really like how that clamps your slide down where it can't move at all. So super nice. And then you just loosen it up. Your slide slides right off. So that's a super nice tool. let's go check out the TruGlo one. It's going to be very similar. The change-out block also allows you to do wider Glock slides, like the Glock 19, for example. So I just want to throw that out there, that there is one of those in the box back there, but we don't have a Glock 19 to try it on. So we'll move over to this other TruGlo. It's almost the same thing. Next up, we have the TruGlo sight installation kit, and it's already set up for our Glock slide for the narrow type. Again, it has change out blocks, different blocks to hold your slide, and this one will work for our 48. So we're going to go ahead and set the slide in. Sorry about the poor camera work. I'm trying to kind of get it started, but just slides in, and same thing as that Trijicon that you guys just saw. We're just going to kind of clamp it down, tighten that up until it's locked in, which it is right now. And as you guys can see, we're locked in pretty good. This one has a removable handle, and we're just going to put that in there and run it left or right. Oops, but you have the same exact thing as that. Let's see how she goes here. And just keep an eye on the sight itself is being pushed off. It's actually not a bad tool. You can already see that it's pushed that side off. It's actually just as easy, but I do believe that the Trijicon does have a way smoother spin getting the sight off. At least it felt that way to me. Your mileage may vary, but both tools do the same exact thing, except for on the TruGlo version, I just dropped the handle out of it, as you can see, and I'm sure that you could tighten down the set screw on the end, which I just didn't have my Allen wrench handy for that. So let's kind of push our sight back in place here. It's going on just as smooth as it came out. But both tools work really well, and they're well made. They're solid metal, and they both do a good job. So you can kind of make up your own mind. As you guys can see, all of these sight pushing tools do a fairly good job. It's going to depend on your personal preference and your budget on which sight tool you want to use. If I had a preference, I guess it would depend on what the job was. These universal sight tools do a pretty good job for a lot of different firearms, whereas the other two sight pushing tools here are kind of more geared towards Glock handguns. So if you're a Glock fan, these are probably the tools you're going to want to have. It doesn't hurt to have a universal on hand anyway. Those universal sight pushing tools work really well, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them at all. Thanks for joining me today to check out these sight pushing tools. If you guys are local to the area and you're looking to have a set of sights installed on your handgun, be sure to drop by Snake River Arms, and they can do that for you if you don't have a tool. Great guys to work with and always professional. I really appreciate those guys. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.